Hello, I'm host Eric, host of Talking with Famous People, and welcome to the end of Chapter 1 of Talking with Famous People. I have today experienced a transition day in which I began the morning in a fighty mood, made a couple of quick videos about how much I dislike food Nazism. People telling you how this is healthy and that's not healthy, and it's a whole bunch of nonsense, frankly. But the point is, I woke up fighty. I made those videos. I uploaded them. I knew when I uploaded them that it probably cost me a couple subscribers because people don't like that shit. They don't like me being mad and cursing and stuff. um, and then the power shut off for a little while today. I thought it was probably because I hadn't paid the bill. That's not why. It was just a power outage around here. And I had an emotional breakdown, basically. Started sobbing. Um, really had a what you might call a damn burst of introverted feeling. And it correlates with a lot of these vectors that are significant in my life, starting a new partnership. And Abraham and I had a big fight the other day. We cleared the air. Now that whole relationship is, I don't know, different, perhaps. And I move forward with a clear vision of what's going on in my business, a clear priority, being efficient, making money. And that's something I've ever prioritized before, but it's time to do that. For me, this marks the end of chapter 1 of Talking with Famous People for countless reasons, all of which sort of aligned and fell in my lap today. One thing that I'm going to be thinking a lot about as I consider going forward into chapter 2 is authenticity, what it means to be authentic, what it means to be constructed. The impact on me of this making video thing that I've been doing has been remarkable. It's been dramatic, and it's been happening in a non-reflective state, more or less. I've been so immersed in reflection and so immersed in analysis. I guess a better way to put it is I've been so immersed in analysis that I haven't actually engaged in any reflection. And this is a problem for me. It's a problem I suspect for my personality type in general, the ENTP. We're not a type that enjoys reflection. I don't. I don't want to reflect on things. Reflecting on things is SI business, you know? It involves a lot of SI, thinking about mistakes you made and how you should do better next time and stuff like that. Well, I mean, hell, if I started thinking about mistakes I made and how I should do better next time, I would be spending the rest of my life reflecting on my mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. And one of the impacts of this YouTube making thing on me has been to come to accept my hit and miss nature, that I make some mistakes. I make some good videos. I make some videos people don't like. I make some videos that people dislike. You know, like my videos this morning about the food thing. And, you know, I find myself reflecting, should I take those videos down that people don't like? It's not going to do any good. It'll lose me subscribers. But then I think to myself, well, but I kind of want to just make videos that I want to make, like that video when I'm mad about the food thing. And then it comes into question this strange balancing consideration of how much crafting for the purposes of being effective for the audience is desirable to the extent that it is directly in contrast to what you want to be doing. Almost always I can find ways to try to make what I want to be doing a little bit more palatable to the audience if I try. One of the downsides of putting up a million videos like I've been doing lately and not really doing any editing videos and being more vloggy and less personality type stuff is there's a consequence that you're gonna lose audience members that are not here for that. And I made an effort here in chapter 1 of Talking with Famous People to do a balance of different things. I wanted to not have myself painted into a corner. I did a lot of personality stuff because I realized it generated more views and it was genuinely interesting to me as well. I have more thoughts on it and I want to coalesce them into some sort of general overview that's organized a little differently. It's difficult to say to the extent to which I'm going to be able to follow through on these notions as I describe them. But I can tell you for sure that these instincts will inform my path going forward. So at the end of chapter 1, I'm taking a break here. I'm going to be I'm not going to be uploading any videos after tonight for Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday during the day. Saturday night I have a live show with my band, and part of the program, so to speak, as planned, is for me to do some one-on-one Talking with Famous People interviews at the site of the show with people who are in attendance about their lives, and maybe do some personality typing, quick typings, and after the show to maybe get a couple more in if I can. I plan to live broadcast from about, I guess I just have a firm time, huh? I guess I'd probably live broadcast from about 8 p.m. On Saturday, March 26th until maybe midnight or 1 a.m. So this thing allows you to broadcast live for up to 8 hours. I am aware of the reality that that long of a broadcast is of somewhat dubious quality and speed, which is to say that you can only go so fast when you are broadcasting live, because there's going to be moments when you are not sure where you're going or what you're going to be doing, or transition moments when you go from one thing to another. You got to be on the whole time. You have to be attentive to what you're saying and what you're doing, and it's a difficult ask on some level, I think, for somebody to present that much for that long of a period of time. But I'm going to probably attempt it anyway. And I find that one of the things that I've discovered here in chapter 1 of Talking with Famous People is that as you upload more and more videos, I begin to feel a blurring of a distinction between being on and not on, like being in front of the camera and when I'm not in front of the camera. Now, as I proceed forward here in the evening, and I plan to have this broadcast go on for quite some time, probably. I'm hopeful that Zach is going to come and join me. I invited him as an email. If you would like to be invited, I think the best way to do that is to not comment on this video that's up there right now, because I can't really get to that video. It's difficult for me to get to it. I do believe we have a Q&A function associated with this. If you'd like to put your email address in there, that would be one way I can invite you. Or additionally, if you'd like to join me here on Google Hangouts. And I guess the topic tonight is this. It's what this end of the chapter means and how things are going to be different going forward and stuff. As a general rule, I guess that's what I would like to talk about somewhat, if people are down to talk about that. For me, I've thus far made this channel about a distinct set of things. I have my comedy stuff, which is my least popular stuff. So I think I'm hilarious, but apparently other people do not think I'm so hilarious. The second thing I've got up here is multi-track music, which is music tracks that I've written and recorded with more care and with an attempt to manifest a finished track. The other thing I got up here is freestyles, which are music performances that are not planned ahead of time. I just make a song and record it and they go along. Fourth thing I got up here, what I used to call my old philosophy talk videos. I've got quite a few of those up here as well, and they're quite long, quite rambling, quite undirected, quite inconsiderate of the audience's attention because they're explicitly made not for an audience, except as brainstorming exercises. I've also got my personality video up here where I've got a couple of different kinds. Ones that are short chunks on single ideas. I try to do some of those. I have a couple charts and diagrams, ones up here that are more high labor, high effort. And then I've got a bunch of me talking about personality stuff that's either stays differingly on topic. So the extent to which somebody wants to watch Talking with Famous People videos is going to probably vary. But I know that some audience members are going to want to watch analysis. They're going to want to watch or hear, really. They're going to want to hear what I have to say about given cognitive function because they think I'm going to be presenting some good or interesting ideas that might help them to have more insight when they're in their own thinking, as I might gain insight from listening to them. There's that. There's additionally an audience member who might come for what I would call well, I don't know if there are any. I don't think I do really have any people who probably come here for just music or just comedy stuff. Probably not. I would guess that there's a certain segment of the listening or viewing audience that if they choose to watch me, it's because they want to spend time with me, basically, as I want to spend time with you guys when I try to get you to be on Talking to Famous People. And for that purpose, I don't know how much of a huge difference it makes if I stay on topic and stuff. So it's difficult for me to know why people watch this channel, or if they do, when, you know, I don't believe I have a ton of regular viewers. I think that of all of my subscribers, at least as far as the commenting goes, I have a fairly, a pretty well-defined and reasonably active group of people who do comment, and I know I always try to incorporate any commenters into Talking with Famous People episodes whenever I can, when I can get people to join me. So the thing about that, one change is going to be happening going forward for Chapter 2 is that primarily I want to be doing one-on-one videos. Not that that's really a change, that's really what I've done so far, but I didn't really think of it as a protocol. I want to do one-on-one rather than group. Although I would, of course, make an exception for a quadruple. Listen, if we can put a quadruple together, everything else stops. Everything else in the universe can just go put on hold. It's quadruple time. So all I need, I'm sure I can get one of these INPs that I chat with periodically to join our quadruple. But what I need additionally is an ESTJ and ESFJ. Now I noticed I lost a viewer here. I'm looking at my viewer count. I've got one viewer while on the live broadcast, which is fine. The thing is, you might think like, oh man, I wouldn't want to do one of those live broadcasts. Nobody would watch. We wouldn't have any viewers. Well, it doesn't really matter because it's going to get the bulk of its views in its lifetime by sitting there and being watched by people occasionally, to the extent that it ever gets watched at all. Now, something like this, which is a very long and not particularly well scripted or planned or directed video that is basically me talking about the channel and my thoughts and my feelings and a bunch of other random stuff, may or may not be of any interest to anybody to watch once it's up there as a video, and especially knowing that this is going to be unusually long. But the thing about making a video like this is it allows me to interface with people in a way that announces I'm experiencing this transition right now. I'm going through it right now. And after this video is done, and I'm still hopeful to get somebody to join me before I end tonight, I would be thrilled if somebody would join me here on Google Hangouts on this live feed. I currently have, let's see, I'm looking for something. I have no comments. If you were to make a comment on some video other than this one that said, I would like to join you, and give me your email address, I would assuredly include you in this Hangout. And however, if I don't get anybody to hang out here, I've already got one person invited who may show up at some point if he is available. I don't know. If I don't get anybody to hang out, I will continue to discuss some of what this chapter 1 has meant to me, and thus far I've been rambling mostly about introductory stuff, so let me get into more of the meat of it. So for me, the story of talking with famous people begins when I quit drinking two plus Christmases ago. So I've been without any alcohol for 2.5 years or so now. Well, not quite 2.5, but I'm getting close to that. So the point is, at that moment, I no longer was being crippled by my alcoholism, and I was capable of actually accomplishing a couple of things. It took me a long time to get used to being free. Like somebody who's been caged for a really long time, when you get out, you're not even sure what moving around means anymore. And you have to sort of relearn the basics of existence in the world, as I did. And you go from extreme to extreme, and your emotions are all over the place, and you just struggle for a while. You've had alcohol there as a constant presence in your life for decades, and towards the end, you were, fairly liquored up much of the time. Well, it's gonna be a shock to the system, and it was to mine as well, for sure. Now, after that, this is the moment I would say the birth of talking with famous people, because really, prior to that, the YouTube channel existed. It wasn't called Talking with Famous People. It was just called Eric Strauss, or Rice Asterost, it might have been called. I've got a few anagrams of my name: Rice Asterost, Cyrus Suarts, Eric Strauss. And the but one of the first couple of videos I made was after I quit drinking. My job shipped me off to China. I went to China. I didn't expect to be shipped off to China. I had quit drinking a month or so ago, and this was abrupt. And I was like very worried about whether I'd be able to stay quit drinking. And so I got shipped off to China, and I did stay sober in China. And additionally, I was compelled to exist in a world without my family. I was compelled to exist in a world without my familiar comforts, and yet find satisfaction, joy, whatever, with in a very foreign and different place, and not a very comfortable place for a Westerner like me who just doesn't really like crowds and waiting in China. It doesn't really like China at all, frankly. But if you have a chance to go to China, to go on a vacation to China, you could probably go to Korea, and that would be a lot better, I bet. Anyway, I'm not about China bashing, but it's not fun. You don't want to go there. So the point about it is I came back from China, and in China I had made a couple of my very first YouTube videos that I put up and were creative in some sense. I had drank myself to a point where I was never going to create anything again, and just it was far too risky for me to express myself in the slightest, because as it was, being drunk every night was a struggle to manage to get to past that point before I started making Facebook posts. And you can imagine the the thrill every morning of waking up and seeing what I had to delete. So anyhow, I put up a couple videos from China called Wuxi Dong Tour of Wuxi Dong, Walking Tour of Wuxi Dong, China, in which I do a little walking tour of Wuxi Dong, China. And I liked those videos. I put them up, and a couple of people liked them a little bit. Like a couple people said a couple sort of positive things, which was more encouragement than I was used to getting for anything, frankly. And so I was very happy. Somebody liked one of my Wuxi Dong videos. I was thrilled, And so I got back to the States, and then got back home, and I came back into my marriage and my life here, which was confused because we were about to get divorced. Then I quit drinking. Then I get to go to China, and I come back, and where are we exactly? Well, we worked on the marriage. We moved forward, but there were long-standing habits of shut Eric down. So there was a bit of a struggle over whether or not I ought to express myself and how I ought to express myself. I got a little bit more bold on Facebook, saying a few more insightful, no, not insightful, inciting of controversy sort of things. And my ex-wife didn't like that at all, and she tried to shut me down. I ended up sort of turning to YouTube a little bit to avoid some conflict areas, but one of the next videos I uploaded was a video called Party in the Park, which was a ridiculous video that I made by singing something in the car, a song I made up singing, and I made a little music video for it. And that was the first time I had made music in, I don't know, 8 years, something like that. I had not touched it for that long. And the reason? Well, I was busy drinking. So then, after I put up Party in the Park, I started making other little videos. Party in the Park also got a couple of likes. And then I got a couple of ones that didn't go so well. And I kind of lived and died with them, you know? And that was a burden on me. So eventually I said, fuck it, I'm not going to worry about that. And I started putting out these little philosophy videos, which were explicitly told myself, and I had to do this real. So I never, ever would have done it. They're explicitly not intended to be viewed by anybody. I expect 0 viewers. If you are a viewer, why are you watching this? It's not intended to be viewed by you. It was like that sort of a general position. I was telling myself that. Secretly, of course, I would have loved to have anybody watch my videos. But that's not how I was going to be positioning it to myself, or else then it's weighted too heavily. So anyway, this process for me has been a process of coming to accept myself as I am in ways that are neither reactionary to parts of myself I'm trying to defend, in ways that are honest and earnest, and yet also not reactive to other people's behavior. And I think it's easy to honestly react to somebody else's behavior, but that's not really what you'd like to be doing. So the end of chapter 1 then represents a process of coming to accept myself from, in all areas, more than I have heretofore. When I first started getting some positive comments and stuff on my YouTube channel, I was frequently moved to tears. I am now even sitting here thinking about it. I remember when one of the first video I had that successfully actually attracted some attention and got some views, I started getting comments on that, and they were positive comments. It was astonishing to me. It's another one of those things I never understood how I felt about it, frankly. I didn't know it was important. Anyway, one of the things I'm going to try to do in chapter 2, at least at this moment, is cry less. I cry way too much on this show. I am just a bucket of tears. But see, that's what it's like. I'm super clumsy with FI. I don't even realize it's on me. And then it like falls off and lands on my toes. I'm like, ow, where the fuck did that thing come from again? Should I cut down on the profanity? I probably should, huh? I don't think people like profanity. To me, it's just something you say periodically. It's like, sunlight. You need a little sunlight in your life. You need a little profanity. You need a indignant, because fuck those people. You need some of that every day. A little bit of that. Or else your day is not complete. You like the haircut? I got the haircut for the new partner, for the new partnership, for the new moving forward, for the new trying to make money, you know. Look, I lost a viewer when I said that. Oh, they're back. Maybe they decided they changed their mind. See, I think that little profanity, I wonder about shit like that, but that's FE for you. I'm sitting here going, there were 3 viewers, then I said I used the profanity stuff, and then I lost one. And I'm like, huh, I wonder if I could just sort of correlate that directly. Anyhow, I'm still hoping somebody's going to join me, and I plan to be on this thing for a while. I'm not going anywhere, even though I don't have a plan of exactly what to say. I want to continue to talk about how much of an impact making YouTube videos out of me. Let's talk about SI, for example. Here's what happened today. This is proof positive of how I frame things in my life differently around the fact that I make these YouTube videos. So I went to go get my hair cut. It was annoying. The barbershop I normally go to was closed. The other barbershop was closed. The third barbershop, which I used to go to every once in a while, but he always nicks my mole and makes it bleed. So that's not the main reason I went out somewhere else, but it was one of the reasons. I went back there, and there were 2 guys in front of me. Well, normally I would have said, hell no. But I got a lot of videos coming up that are going to be uploading this evening that are prequels to this video, basically, that explain my process of coming to the conclusion that today represented the end of chapter 1 of Talking with Famous People, and that I would be going dark for the rest of the week to not upload any videos this whole week until Saturday, at which point I'll have another big live broadcast for the Talking with Famous People live show in Hollywood or LA on Melrose at Church Fun. March 26th at 11 p.m. You should come to that if you are in town. If you happen to be in the Los Angeles area on March 26th at 11 p.m., you should come to that show. You should. Anywho, so as I proceeded through this video making process and I tried to figure it out, I sought data from a lot of different places, but probably not nearly as many different places as any other personality type would. I'm really not a data finder. Give me a couple facts to work off of. That's sort of my style. A couple facts is good enough. But I watched a couple of these YouTube creator videos about what to do and stuff like that. I also looked a lot at my own analytics to see what worked and what didn't. And in fact, I can screen share or screen share. And let's look at these analytics. And you will see as I show you that there are analytics that are discouraging and analytics that are encouraging, right? Sometimes things that make me sad and sometimes things make me happy. Yes, I know Google Hangouts is sharing my screen with googleplus.com. That's fine. Now look here. This makes me happy. This continues to go up. This is how many, for any given day, how many total minutes of my videos are watched. This was a good day. 1 day and 17 hours worth of videos. 1 day and 7 hours. The average view duration continues to go down, but it's because partially because I have more short videos that get more views. Total views per day, gradual up. This is for the last 28 days. And as you see here, this is still my top video, this one right here, and it has 327 views, and this minute's watch time, and 0 cents revenue. Oh, but this one has 7 cents revenue. Mega Bros visualization technique is bringing in the cash. I'm rolling. Okay, so as you see here, I've got this 76% male, 24% ladies. Hello, ladies. Well, if I still have 4 viewers, if I haven't lost one of you in the process of going over my analytics, let's see. I do. That means there's a decent chance one of you 4 viewers is a woman. It's possible. Okay, so congratulations to you for being a woman. And 65% of you are from the United States, and 4.9% are from the United Kingdom. 4.3 from Australia, 3.9 from Canada, and 2.4 from South Africa. Okay, so let's look now at this, though. This is the thing that's a little disturbing, is subscribers. So I've been on a long run now of sort of unedited videos, and then we see this is encouraging. Oh, yay, we like you. Yee, wee, 40 subscribers, 3, 4, yeah, woo, woo. Oh, hell no. What happened here? What did I put up on that date? On the 17th? I don't know. I don't remember. And I could look, but I don't even really want to know. Things like that scare me. I get frightened. Okay, so what else do I have to show you for the demographics here? I mean, the analytics. So here's the real-time analytics. 820 views in the last 48 hours. Now this is down from a few days ago when I was at 1,000 some views. It may be a weekend thing. I don't know. It might be. I mean, I noticed this goes up and down, and then the bottom keeps getting a little bit higher, and the top keeps getting a little bit higher. You know, this 24 views in the last 60 minutes is pretty good. And let's show you my recent stuff. This one where I'm crying got 16 views in the last 48 hours. This one, my food attack one, got 15. Food attack, I know it's going to piss people off. Why I put it up there, I have no idea. I was just in a fighting mood. Well, who knows why? Let's look at watch time. Things just happen. That's the problem. Watch time, Piao. This, we've got 1 day and 10 hours. So you see it's generally going up. And here's my individual videos watch time. 521. These are pretty good raw numbers here. But of course, it's percentage of time that is significant as well. 5 minutes of a 2-hour movie is not nearly as good as 5 minutes of a 5-minute video. So I don't have any 2-hour movies, but this one probably will be a 2-hour movie. And I have here visualization to get. This one's moving up the charts. That one's a good one, 406. And yeah, so you see all that stuff there. That's fun and exciting stuff. Now, if we look at, let me look at traffic sources. Traffic sources include suggested videos, browse features. I think that means people are intentionally looking through my videos. And then YouTube search, YouTube channels, external playlists, other YouTube features. Whatever that is, they are doing great. Good job with the YouTube features. And that's about it. Now let's see. Let's look at these search terms. I guarantee you they're all they're all personality stuff. Let's see. ENTP, INTP, ISFP, ENTP male, INTJ, ISTJ, ISFP, Carfire. Hey, all right. EJRND, MBTI, Enneagram, Carfire again. So, they only show the top 25 search terms, but my Carfire video apparently got some search terms. Search it, but yeah. So that's the deal with that. I wonder, let's see, this month? No, this quarter. Let's look at this quarter. I think that'll give us a better growth arc, except look here, what is this? Are these our search terms? Oh, that's just our search terms. Okay, so let me go up to analytics then this quarter. And I'm going to look at the PIAO, for the PIAO, this quarter. All right, so if we look at this quarter, I think we're going to see a growth arc looks a little bit nicer. And it does, as you see, the beginning of the quarter, I was looking at 10 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours of total watch time. And that's gone up and 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 up. That's the most I've ever had, or what? And then this was the highest of my watch time duration, average view duration. That was when most of my videos being watched were this one probably. And let's see, dislikes went way up right here, came back down. Likes, Hmm. Comments. Got a lot more comments recently, for sure. Shares. Somebody shared some stuff right there. Videos and playlists. Subscribers. This is a little down thing right there. Well, chapter 2 hopefully will begin to remedy that. That's my hope. Okay, so that's all I have to show you on the analytics, I think. I'll show you my revenue. I'm sure it's not very good, but let's look at it. Ooh, how much? $2.10. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna take you all out to dinner with $2.13. Yeah, 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 yeah. Who wants to go out to dinner? I got $2.13. It says fancy restaurant. Let's go. Okay, so I'm gonna stop my screen share now. Stop. Ciao. And here I am again. Did you enjoy looking at my screen? I shared it with you. I did. That was nice of me, huh? So I still want somebody to join me at this goddamn thing, but I don't have anybody who is joining me at the moment. I'm going to look on my YouTube page. Somebody leave a comment on a video other than this one, and I will be more than happy to include you in this Google Hangout extravaganza. Now, I gotta say, another factor in this whole YouTube making thing for me has been a important validation of some principles about which I was having significant conflict with important people in my life. So as I indicated, my marriage began to really strain when my uh, over, over this, and then also over when my work started to get tricky. Work started to get tricky because there was a stretch of time when I got back from China where I really had a big mess to clean up. The guy I left in charge in my absence was not doing a very good job and hadn't done a very good job. And my team had fallen apart. Basically, I had lost my team's heart and soul. No fault of my own. I didn't choose to go to China, and I couldn't really keep it from over there. But the bottom line is it caused stress at work, and that caused stress in my marriage. My marriage suffered as my work situation deteriorated dramatically. Part of the reason is because my wife, and I had fundamentally core values about what should be difference in values about what should be prioritized. I felt as though basically the right thing to do should be prioritized. My autonomy should be prioritized, and I'm right and it's fair, and that should be prioritized. And my wife felt that as though peace and stability should be prioritized and harmony should be prioritized. And that was, of course, there was conflict. The problem was she wasn't in the trenches with me at work. She didn't know what was actually going on. And so, I was right about everything, more or less, because who else would be right but the person who's actually involved in it, rather than the people standing on the sidelines casting judgment regarding what is going on when they don't know. But it wasn't just my ex-wife who gave me a lot of pushback during this time. It was my best friend as well. My best friend's an INFJ, the rarest of all personality types, and as magical a being as I've ever met. He is, as they say about INFJs, if you aren't paying attention, you might not notice him and might not guess just how beast mode he is. He doesn't make that obvious to you right away, and he doesn't talk about all the ways in which he accomplishes things. He is not out there to display to you that he is an accomplished individual, a genius, frankly, an artistic genius, and just a great person. But he is that. Anyway, you don't want to run afoul of them, frankly. They're stubborn as mules. So he had a serious conflict with me that was built upon some notion that I was burdened by privilege, which is to say, he felt as though the reason I was able to push so hard at work was because I was privileged. I came from a privileged background and I didn't really have to worry about money, kind of a thing. And he took some offense at that and felt as though I didn't understand how hard it was for regular people like him and or other people. And keep in mind, he's always been he's always had more money than me. he does have that magical INFJ quality, and it's obvious even to any employer, and it's obvious to people talking to him when he's doing his job. And he's often been in a job where he's selling like complicated business tech solutions, stuff like that. Anyway, he had a big problem with me making these YouTube videos. He had a big problem with me at work, same as my ex-wife. And so I had the two closest people in my life in direct opposition to me regarding the courses of action that dominated the moments of my life during that time period, which included problems at work and YouTube videos. And I gradually started making more and more. I'm going through the philosophy type period of time now. I'm trying to deal with work, and it's falling apart. I'm trying to argue with my boss openly at work, and I try to take measures to get out of that situation by just saying, well, look, I'm going to work this period of time, not in the office, yada, yada, yada. Everything's collapsing and freaking out around me. I've got my ex-wife basically move out of the house and go live at her parents' house for an extended period of time because she can't stand being around me because I'm coming home and ranting and raving about work stuff. Understandably, I was kind of a nut job, but a big reason I was kind of a nut job is because I was coming home to say, oh my God, this person is being awful to me, and I was getting a lot of pushback. I was looking for support, moral support. I don't need them to do anything. I just need moral support of some sort, and I was getting pushback, a lot of pushback, and a lot of fear. Well, you're going to lose your job. You're going to get fired. Well, I already tried. I told her to fire me. She refused. And, they think that that's an awful thing, an unacceptable behavior for anybody to engage in because it means you're not prioritizing your family, you're not blah, 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 you're not taking seriously your responsibilities. I kept explaining to them, I could be making more money right now if I like this job is why I was staying here. I like the sandbox. I like the team I made. It's badass. We're kicking ass. We're juggernaut. I don't care. I don't need that stuff. Whatever. I don't worry about that. But if I had to, we'd be fine. They don't believe me. So anyway, I don't know why they don't believe me, but they think I'm crazy because I'm ranting and raving a lot, and this is the problem on these videos too. Some of my videos I'm ranting and raving a lot. I'm cursing, I'm expressing anger or expressing indignation or emoting in a way that is not inherently likable. And some of the time that's going to turn people off and I'm going to lose subscribers for that stuff. So one of the things I'm considering as I'm going into chapter 2 of Talking with Famous People is how to wrestle with that, how much I want to see. Garrison Keillor one time said, it doesn't matter if you're being, honesty has nothing to do with it in regard to the media he's making. He said, honesty has nothing to do with it. Because he said in response to somebody, a critic or a reviewer who said, oh, the reason people like this is because it seems so honest. He said, honesty has nothing to do with it at all. It's, in fact, not honest. It's dishonest. You're presenting something for consumption and crafting it to be what you want the people, in order to get the response you want from the people who are watching it, which is to enjoy it and to want to keep watching it. Well, okay, I don't agree with Garrison Keillor. I think honesty is a critical component of it for me because I'm not just doing it as a media job. You saw my stats if you were here a little while ago, and you can see that I'm not going to be quitting my day job anytime soon with $2.43 this quarter. And that's not my yearly earnings, guys. Okay, so don't think that. Okay, I'm making a lot more than that in a year. Could make as much as $8 in a year, possibly. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be quitting my day job. So the point is, if I am making these videos for my own purposes exclusively, then I need to determine which of my own purposes to weigh against which other own purposes. And the reality is, one of my own purposes is definitely to get attention, to experience the thrill, the literal thrill of looking down there and seeing there are 5 people watching this right now. Hello to each one of you. You, and you. Thank you for what? Oh, 4 now. One of them left. So you 4 who are still here, thank you. I appreciate you watching this. And for number 5, Totally cool. I get it. You didn't like me. I failed you. I failed to entertain you adequately. I'll have to come up with more jokes for next time when you come around. When number 5 comes around. I'm going to assume number 5 is always the same person. Once you have number 5, you can't get any more than 4 viewers until he comes back. Think that's possible? Probably not. All right. So anyway, as far as making all these videos, what were they saying? Well, you know, the thing is, how much effort do I want to put into making them pleasing to others versus how much effort do I want to put into exercising my own mood at the moment? And that's really what it is. If I make a video that is more aggressive or more unpleasant, it's because that's the mood I'm in right then, and it had nothing to do with any larger meanings one might draw from it than that, except that's not how other people interpret it. Just because I say that doesn't mean that makes it so, you know. Well, no, don't worry, everybody. You can not generalize from that. It's fine. Don't generalize from that. That's just one bad video, just like me anyway. Well, that's not going to work. I mean, people react to things how they react to things. And, you know, people aren't going to be like, you know what I want to do? I'm going to happen to stumble across this guy's video. And then, even though I don't like it, I'm going to evaluate him on the by watching a whole bunch more of his videos to determine if I really don't like him or I actually do like him. I mean, obviously, nobody in the world is going to do that. It's insane. So you have too many choices to waste your time pursuing something that would appear to not be your taste. I mean, part of one's job in life is to find things that one enjoys to watch and watch those things instead of finding things that one doesn't like and then researching it further to make sure one doesn't like it. That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. So on that vector, it would seem to make sense to delete the videos that people don't like. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to repeat some of these things a few times because, I don't know, people may drop in and drop out. It's a long video. Nobody's probably ever going to watch this whole thing straight through. But let's have a protocol going forward where I mostly do one-on-one videos for the Talking with Famous People videos. I want to try to get as many people involved with those as possible. If you want to be on a Talking with Famous People video, all you have to do, put a comment in on any of the videos saying, hey, I want to be on a Talking with Famous People video, or I want to be on a famous person video, and we'll make it happen. If I am down to do one right now, then I'll put up a little video right then that says I'm down to do one. Well, what I'm down to do right now, frankly, is probably bring this video to a close. I'm calling tonight the end of chapter 1. Not necessarily, this isn't the last video of the night. I've got another 3 or 4 hours left before bed. And I'm going to try to make a couple more things and put them up. I've got the videos from the day that need to go up still. And I'm going to try to do one more Talking with Famous People video, one-on-one, with somebody. I'm going to put up a little video in a little bit here that just says, if you want to be on one, I want to do one tonight, make it happen. So if you're watching this or watch it after I'm done, and it's still tonight, it's still Sunday night, right now it's 8:45 p.m. Pacific time, I will be trying to make this happen for at least another hour or so if I can. Thanks for watching Talking with Famous People, and after tonight, going dark until this upcoming Saturday, at which point I go live again 8 p.m. till about 1 a.m. and I might break it into chunks, actually. I'm not sure, but I'll be around Saturday night. Thanks for watching. I'll be around the rest of the night too.